Hi, I'm David Tracy with Jalopnik, and this is a 2019 GMC Sierra, a truck with a very fancy tailgate, which I will now review. It's called the Multipro Tailgate, and it goes into 6 different positions. I'm going to quickly show you those. Position 1 goes down like a normal tailgate. Position 2, it's a normal tailgate, but with a load stop to prevent your stuff from flying out of your bed. Position 3, we've got a work surface here. Position 4, this is a load stop for a second tier of loading. So you can put pieces of wood here in these slots in the bedside that creates a false floor. And so if you don't want the stuff that you've loaded on top of that false floor to fall out, you've got this load stop here. And of course, when it's down, you can have it all hang out. So that's position 4. Position 5 is right here. You've got the tailgate within a tailgate. Is both the tailgate and the tailgate within a tailgate are down, which allows you to get closer to whatever's loaded in the bed. And then finally, position 6, click this button and you've got your step. You can grab this handle, use the step to get into the bed. Now, how does it work in practice? How good is it, etc.? Okay, so it's always nice to have a step to help you get into the bed. This step isn't really that low. If you look at the height of this step, it's pretty much lined up with the height of the step here in the bumper. Obviously, it's a bigger step. You know, it's a nice thing. It's not gonna, blow your mind. I mean, maybe if I were older and maybe if I tried it out more, I would think it's, incredible. But right now, to me, honestly, I could just as easily step on this step here in the bumper, grab the bedside, and get on and just step onto the tailgate. Like, that's not that hard. I mean, it's really, it doesn't seem that much easier to step up. I mean, that's a pretty high step. You can see I got to bend my leg over 90 degrees there. So it's still a pretty high step. You do have a handle. I mean, it's nice. It's just, to me, it doesn't seem that much easier than just stepping right here and then grabbing the bedside and stepping onto the tailgate. So folding it up is kind of awkward because the tailgate within a tailgate and the tailgate itself move up at the same time. It's a little awkward. It's also kind of awkward is if you forget to put your handle down before closing your tailgate, you have to open your tailgate back up. You can't just open the top part because, so you see that interferes there, and if you open just the top part, it still interferes. So you've got to make sure that you open your tailgate a little bit, at least a little bit, and then we'll take the handle back down. Oops, wrong button. Bottom button is the full tailgate. There we go. There we go. And now it'll close up. Another thing that I think is a little odd is when you've got the tailgate down and you're trying to get this center part down, maybe to get to your goods in the bed, to get closer to them, or to use the step, you have to sort of guess where the button is. I mean, it's in the center here. It's not that hard, but you're kind of going by feel here, and then you can open it up. So, to be honest, I think a more practical feature for getting into your bed is the deployable running board. So this running board, when you open the door, it deploys. I've used this to get stuff from the bed. What's cooler than that is there's a button at the end right here. If you click this button, it actually deploys outward and back, like almost like past the beginning of the wheel of the tire there. This is a pretty low step, and I can get into the bed very easily. So, I mean, deployable side steps aren't like, you know, there are other trucks with it, but I think the deployable side steps, I think, are more helpful than, you know, this fancy tailgate. I think, again, the steps in the bumper, they do a pretty good job of getting you onto the tailgate and into the bed. So, you know, it's a fancy tailgate. I could see some uses for it. You know, earlier in the day, I was using this top thing to write some notes. Could you just write some notes on the tailgate, you know, like that? Sure. It's a little bit lower, so you'd have to crouch down a little bit. You know, I could see some incremental benefits to it, but you know, it hasn't blown my mind. Again, maybe if I were older it would, but you know. So on the back of this Multipro tailgate are these 4 plastic covers, and those are there because these holes were needed to allow access for weld guns to assemble to build this tailgate here. So what GM's done is they've actually used those holes and filled them with some available accessories like a Bluetooth speaker. So this here's a Bluetooth speaker with the controls here, and then there's another speaker over here, and then right here is a little USB plug and an auxiliary plug there. So it's you know, it's cool. You know, there's a little speaker here to fill holes that were there anyway, so it makes sense. In the end, I think the Multipro tailgate's cool. It's fun, it's different. It's not just a single piece tailgate like everything else on the market. I'm not quite sure the step makes it that much easier to get into the bed when compared with the steps in the bumpers, and I'm not sure that the flat surface created by folding only the inner tailgate is that much more useful than simply dropping a standard tailgate. That said, I can see how the step would be clutch when getting out of the bed, especially while carrying a heavy load, and I can see the built-in load stop for both first and second tier, as well as the ability to get closer to what's in the bed by folding both tailgate sections down, being useful to people who frequently load their beds up. Do I think most owners of Luxo trucks like the GMC Sierra really care about bed egress, load stops, and a foot or two of extra bed access? Probably not. Still, the Multipro tailgate offers some useful, but perhaps not hugely necessary features. To many, I'd guess this will be more of a fun novelty feature than anything.